Disclosure, what disclose? A component of tax, the component of tax expenses shall be disclosed separately. So, what is the tax expense, income tax? What is the other country tax? What are the country tax payable? That all to be disclosed separately. Default tax as well, something. Allocation. The standard requires entity to account for tax consequences of the transaction. Of this transaction, if there are any consequences, you need to account it. Another event of same way that the accounts for transaction, other events themselves. If you have blockchain, Bitcoin, at Bitcoin, if you are doing some transaction, and that transaction is prone to some countries' losses, then you should account it. As a transaction and other events recognized in profit and loss and related tax effort are also recognized in profit and loss. Super. For transaction and other events recognized outside the profit and loss account, other comprehensive income and directly equity, any related tax effort are also recognized outside the profit and loss account, either in comprehensive income or directly in equity, respectively. Similarly, the recognized default tax asset or default tax liability in the business combination affects the amount of goodwill arising in the business combination or the amount of bargain purchase gain recognized. Sure. Appendix A, IND AS 12 addresses how the entity should account for tax consequences. What is the tax consequences? How to account for and change in tax status. How to change the taxation you'll see. And their shareholders. If there is any change in the shareholders, that may arise in taxation. How? Sir, in India, if you if the 950 more than 50 percentage of the shareholder is Indian, that is Indian company. But sometimes the shareholding pattern of that company changes as changing a jurisdiction from Indian company to different company. So in the period in which the change is happening, the taxation also will differ. The appendix prescribes a change in the tax status of the entity or the shareholder does not give rise to increase or decrease in amount recognized outside the profit and loss account. So that change may lead to increase in change. That will not give increase. Now you should not increasing. That is also need to be disclosed. Change in tax has been showing some income tax problem. Now you should say that this is the problem. Uncertainty over tax treatment. Appendix C, the standards clarify how to apply the recognition and how to apply the measurement provision of NDAs 12 when the uncertainty over income tax treatment. Sir, my company is doing only Bitcoin transaction. Okay. But before the recognition of income tax asset or income tax of they brought into that questioning of electronic currency, there is no provision for that. So it's uncertain how to do it. So that is the kind of uncertainty you say that these are transactions we are handling out, but the government has not given any clarification. So this is the treatment we have proceed. Such a way you should say. So this is on India's total income taxes. Thank you.